Hey everybody, my name is Lisa and I'm the Crafty Goddess. Hello and welcome. I hope everybody's new year has been going swimmingly so far. I hope 2023 has been good to you. It's been off to a really shaky start over in my neck of the woods, but that's neither here nor there. In fact, it's been so unpredictable in my life that I have decided to indulge in some whims, that being shopping for yarn. What else is new? I really tried to make my best effort at not buying new yarn unless I absolutely needed to, because as you can see, I've got quite the stash right here, and this isn't even all of it. But I was at my local Michael's store last week because I had the remnants of a gift card burning a hole through my wallet. So I decided to skip down to my local Michael's to see if there were any cool sales happening, or anything, any new arrivals, whatever. I do have the app on my phone, so I can obviously check if there's anything happening. But I like to pop in every once in a while, just get, hopefully struck with some inspiration to do something new and fun. And I noticed that Caron came out with some new yarns. I'm assuming it's part of their spring launch, even though it's January. But we know how retail works. Things always go months in advance. It's par for the course. But there were, I believe, 2 or 3 new types of yarn that Caron launched. There have been other channels that I've seen here on YouTube that have done reviews of the different types of yarns that are available, and I'm just focusing on the one. It is the Caron Caron Cinnamon Swirl Cakes yarn. As I said, I've seen reviews. I think I've seen ones from Bago de Crochet, Cinnamon Stitches. There's been a couple others that I've seen. And a friend of mine asked a while back if I would do reviews of different yarns and whatnot on this channel, because she always appreciated my honest feedback. So I said sure, and I took this as an opportunity. I figured I'd wade in with my opinion if it matters to anybody watching, of course, because I was immediately struck by the vast array of color palettes that were available with the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes yarn. I believe there's another one, Caron, I think it's called Blossom Cakes, and it's more like, they're both yarns are more multicolored, but I think the Blossom Cakes are more like, I want to say variegated. That's probably not quite the correct word, whereas the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes are more of a self-striping yarn. But as I said, the array of different colorways and whatnot really grabbed my attention, and I'm not a soft color pastel palette kind of gal at all. I think we've established that already repeatedly. But I was really, taken in by this, like the different colors, springtime, lots of, beautiful, vivid colors, and ones that I don't normally play with or use when I'm making items, as you can see. But I figured I would pick up a few cakes. I picked up 2 cakes per color that I was really instantly attracted to. I believe there's 10 to 12 different colorways available in the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes. I grabbed 4 of them because, okay, they're a little, well, let's go into details for it anyway. So the Cinnamon Swirl Cakes, I'll just give the specs in general, and then I'll show you the different colorways I got. So each cake weighs 8 ounces or 227 grams. They measure 407 yards or 372 meters. It is a worsted weight of 4, so yeah, it's a good solid worsted. I experimented with it earlier today. I'll show you that in a second. The knitting needle suggestion is a 5mm, which works out to US 8. Same with the crochet hook, 5mm, US 8 or an H. And because it is acrylic, it's machine washable and dryable. Each cake, I believe, American pricing is $12.99, and in Canada it's $14.99. That is a non-sale price, because just like everything else in the past 2-3 years, the price of yarn has gone up. I was immediately taken aback by the price of this yarn, although right now the Michaels here, I'm not sure if it's the same standards for sales in Canada as it is in the States, so please correct me in the comments. But here in Canada, the Michaels stores have a sale on their yarn right now, excuse me, where you buy 3 different cakes, skeins, increments, etc., and then get the 4th one free. So buy 3, get 1 free. I got the first 3 cakes of this before the sale, which means I'm an idiot. Again, low self-impulse control. I had a gift card. Why not? But yeah, it was a little, I mean, everything's gone up. I don't need to. We've seen it in the news enough. Everything's inflating in price. But let's go on to some of the colors I got here. Because as some of you folks may have seen, the crochet hexagon cardigan craze has taken the internet by storm right now. I've actually started crocheting one just out of curiosity because it looks simple enough. No, I'm not going to post a tutorial. There are already a gazillion and one tutorials available here on YouTube. Some of the ones that I've followed are from, oh gosh, what's her name? Passionate Kelsey, Craft in a Cuppa. There's tons out there. And not to mention, I'm not naturally a crochet artist person, so I would probably do something that might appear incorrect to some of you more seasoned professionals, whatever. But yeah, I figured I'd get some of these to make those crochet cards. Yeah, anything like the hexagon cardigans, granny square, anything is so hot right now. So I thought I'd cash in on it. But yeah, some of the colorways I got. This one is called Marble. Let me get it right nice close to the camera here. So I've got some nice, there's some nice lilacs, like almost like a sage green, some cream color, bit of gray. Again, they're not colors that I normally would knit with or wear in my wardrobe, but I think it's really cute. It's very nice, calm, neutral-ish palette. I thought it was pretty. This was actually my husband's suggestion. I was kind of torn back and forth between like this one, it was like an explosion of like pinks and purples, and another one that I think it was like blues and greens or whatever, and he grabbed this one and said, try that. So comment down below if any folks who like to buy yarn, buy it just to see how it turns out when you work up the color, because that's what this is going to do. Another colorway I got, again, I've really gravitated towards oranges lately. This is called Heat Wave. Beautiful oranges, burnt siennas, a little bit of gold, some, well, I don't want to say gold, sorry, bronze. Am I colorblind? Just this nice vast array, very fall colors, very pretty. I really like it. I can't wait to work this up in one of those crochet cardigans. Put you over there for now. Let's see if I can reach this one. This one is called Springtime, and it is very springy. We've got some nice cream colors here, a little bit of peach, some purple, some lilac, a little bit of blush pink. It's very pretty. I can't emphasize enough. I wouldn't normally wear these colors. They're pretty, but they're not me, but they look absolutely gorgeous together. I'll show you the swatch that I'm working on right now in a bit. Absolutely gorgeous. And the 4th one I got, I'm probably going to go back for more colorways later on anyway, hopefully when sale when sale prices are more agreeable, or B, if there are sales, period. Who knows. This one is called Lilac and Lime. The green and purple just kind of suckered me in. There's greens, there's purples, there's lilacs, there's some acid green. It's an interesting colorway. I really like it. I would probably wear these because I like green and purple. I want to say peach. It's kind of throwing it off for me, but that's just me personally. A lot of these colorways do appear similar in terms of the palettes, like pinks, purples, yellows, oranges, that sort of thing. A lot of them don't really kind of steer clear of each other colorway wise, if that makes any sense. Now the first thing I noticed when I grabbed these was that they really reminded me, I mean, you see how it's spun up, like how the cakes are spun up and everything. It reminded me a lot of the Horizon cakes from Hobie. I think that's the one that Crystal at Bag O' Day was alluding to. They're very similar in terms of how the cakes are wound up, in terms of the colorways. There was a colorway similar to this. I can't remember the name offhand, but it was fairly identical to this colorway here, which I love. So they're both compact like this. They're both spun the same way. They're both cake yarns. But this is where the comparison ends. Visually, it is very reminiscent of Horizon, but the Caron cake, the Caron cinnamon swirl cakes, as I said, they're a worsted weight, whereas the Horizon is a weight of 3, so it's a GK weight. And the weight in this is actually a little bit different as well. So it's 200 grams or 7.0 ounces, whereas the Caron is like 8 ounces and 227 grams, obviously because it's a worsted. It's going to weigh more. It's got a thicker circumference. So, yeah. Also, the softness, there is a softness factor here as well. You've heard me rave about how much I love Horizon, how soft it is, how smushable it is. Absolutely gorgeous. One of my favorite yarns I've ever played with. The Caron cinnamon swirl cakes, not so soft. It's your average worsted weight acrylic. I mean, you feel it is acrylic. When I first picked up the cakes, I was like, oh, this is very soft. This is very smushable. I can't wait to go home and play with it. Then I started working with it, and I don't want to sound rude. Like I don't make yarn. I try to make a point of not criticizing people who do things that I don't, because I don't think it's very fair. But the softness factor, as I was working with it, just didn't translate to the work. I mean, I think Crystal did up something like a sample, and she put it through the wash, and she said it did soften up, which is good to hear. But working with it was a little challenging. So this is okay. So if anybody knows like the granny hexagon patterns that I'm talking about, I started one up today. It's a little floppy, it's a little fiddly, but of course because it's a crochet hexagon, right? But then of course when you're done, you fold it up like this, sort of like an origami. It obviously goes into more detail. You sew up the seams and do some detailing, blah blah blah. So right now this probably could fit an infant, but yeah, the colorway, the way it does up, it's actually quite pretty. It's very eye-catching. But it just didn't feel, I didn't get the softness from it. I mean, it's an acrylic, so it's not like I should really expect a lot. But the Horizon is 100% premium anti-pilling acrylic. So obviously it's going to have more of a softness to that. Whereas Caron is just your straight up acrylic. I actually found, and I was talking about this with my sister earlier today, I found that the regular Caron cakes, if I have any handy, oh hey, there's one right here. This feels a little softer. Now, there's obviously going to be a difference because the regular Caron cakes has an 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend. So it is going to be a little bit more smooshable than your basic straight up 100% acrylic. So there's that to consider. Plus also, but then there's also the detriment of what if somebody has a fiber allergy? They would be better off wearing something that's 100% acrylic or more hypoallergenic to them than something that may have wool in it. So there's that. Oh, come on, you go over there. So yeah, I was a little disappointed, and I really hate saying that because I don't like critiquing. You know, well, I mean, I should. That's kind of partly why I'm here, and what my friend asked me to. She wanted my critiques, so I'm sure it will soften up in the wash. But just working with it, it almost reminded me of the Red Heart Super Saver yarn, if that makes any sense. Not the Red Heart Comfort. Red Heart Comfort is just abrasive. I don't like working with it at all. Whereas Red Heart Super Saver, it feels like there's a little bit more softness to it, and that's what this kind of reminded me of. Maybe not quite so abrasive, but still not as soft as I would have imagined. So, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, it does pass the cheek test. It would be wearable, but I don't know. Would I get it again? Probably, because like I said, I do want to play with the different colors. Sorry, I had an itch. Somebody's thinking about me, maybe. When your ears are itchy, somebody's thinking about you, allegedly. That's what my grandmother always told me. But yeah, I mean, it does up really, the colors, like I said, I can't rave enough about how pretty the color combinations are. It's so cute. But yeah, and also let's talk the price too. $14.99 for your basic straight up acrylic. It is pricey. Yes, everything has gone up in price over the past 3 years because reasons. But the Horizon cakes, sorry, I just need to look at my phone quickly because I noticed that it is still on sale. They have their January sale right now on Hobie. The Horizon cakes are regular price $24. These are American prices, by the way. I don't recall the Canadian conversion. They're on sale right now for $11.90, which I believe roughly comes out to about the same price as these Caron cakes would be, around $14.99. I'm ballparking it. But, so I figured, well, I might as well buy these here because they're closer to home. Yes, there are some significant differences, but yeah, it's hard to say. Like, I don't want to give it a complete pass. I don't want to completely pan it, but at the same time, knowing now what I didn't know then, would it have been the first thing to grab for? Maybe not. I mean, it is a good sturdy acrylic. I mean, look how thick that is. It's a nice solid acrylic. Whatever you make out of this is going to hold up for sure. In the wash and dryer, it's pretty solid. I can't wait to see how these translate in terms of the granny hexagon cardigans. Probably a nice sturdy fabric. But yeah, I think on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give them, I'd give them a 7. There's a great availability of colorways, and it's acrylic, machine laundry friendly. But there are some detriments to it as well. If it does soften up in the wash, as I think and hope that it does, maybe that'll bump it up to at least an 8. I'm not giving it a complete fail, but I would say like maybe a grade, like a B grade average. Yeah. I wish I could wax poetic about how much I love it. I mean, it is pretty, but, you know, so-so. Yeah. Anyway, hope I didn't waffle too much. But yeah, that's it for now. Like I said, I got these at Michael's. I'm going to try and keep a tighter rein on my purse strings in the next little while. It's so tempting. As soon as you say, I'm not going to do something, I like, buy this or indulge in that, and next thing you know, poof. A fool and their money. Am I right? Anyway, thank you so much for watching this. If you liked what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate all the positive feedback. If you haven't yet done so, please click the subscribe button down here. Hit the notification bell as well. It'll let you know when I put up new videos. And please leave a comment down below if you have also purchased the cinnamon cakes yarn. Let me know what your honest feedback is, whether you liked it or if you had any issues, whatnot. Or if there were any new yarn purchases you were looking forward to making this year, or at least this month. We're halfway through January, so hopefully the rest of the year will be a little bit more smooth sailing, at least for me anyway. Again, thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, keep making cool stuff, and let's talk again soon. All right, bye.